it's just going to be the critique. Oh, I just okay. There's no differentiation between an affirmative and negative ballot. If we win that the affirmative is a good idea, that we open the public space to oppress voices, that we win this debate, their alternative is to prescribe a solution to any of the problems that exist within the sphere of debate. Our affirmative is the only form of politics with any chance of materializing the change. If we win a risk of solvency, it's a reason to vote affirmative to preserve the validity of the activity and protect it from becoming closed off. This has a couple of impacts. First is our Schweitzer evidence. Debate is not a good form of scenario planning. Schweitzer states that the beneficiary of violence of debate is not concerned with accuracy, but finding that we must contrive scenarios for nuclear war or environmental catastrophe or genocide and the next Holocaust. Crime all too often trains us to become a place when actual bad things happen and result in inherited decision making where we preemptively invade foreign countries. B is the detachment DIAs that weighs all their abstract offense. Our impact trickles into the realm of actual policy making. Spana says that debate system of weighing human lives on a point scale creates desensitized decision makers who advise and implement policies without any consideration for the human lives at stake. C is spectacularized internal link chains are militaristic and inherently suspicious of radical critique alone. Our intellectual spaces become indoctrinated with violence and militarism prevents the possibility of any non-conservative educational gains from within inside of the debate community. Now, their first argument is that intellectual agreed is bad. However, extend intellectual agreed is bad. However, extend our Giroux evidence, which means that we need to use localized, public spheres, like debate to confront things like intellectual agreed and prevent them from existing in the first place. He says that allowing intellectual spaces to collapse under militarism allows privatization to fill these areas. Any politics that wishes to confront like neoliberalism or oppression requires strong public spaces through which demands can be articulated. The alternative is an increased privatized society where the imperatives of capitalism and oppression are allowed to continue unchallenged. He concedes the fact that our critique occurs inside the space of debate, and we are advocating our position as debaters who exist within the community. They don't answer us, even if you don't. It's a particularly strong argument. It means that we don't actually link to their critique because we don't set up the us versus them ivory tower intellectualism that their critique and our Giroux evidence, which talks about confronting things within the space of debate, is much more preferable to their Derrida evidence, which lacks a war. And additionally, they link to their Derrida evidence just as hard as we do. They economize the ballot. They economize the ballot by saying that the judge has to vote negative to rupture these structures. This does not make sense. Their critique of the affirmative is that we use the ballot. However, the negative just does as much, which means that they can't actually articulate a coherent political strategy because they end up being entrenched in the same logic that the affirmative does. However, the distinction that the affirmative offers a progressive political solution to challenging things, rejecting militarization, which is what our Giroux evidence is necessary, instead of really citing to passivity and not doing anything and allowing conservatism to continue unchecked. Additionally, we are not intellectually agreed that the ultimate assertion provided by the negative. We advocate a strategy of and an endorsement means what affirmative. There is no actual distinction drawn by the link drawn by the negative. That's getting the win. It's probably a good idea because it means our strategy is even more potential by gaining credibility. That's our Bjork evidence, which I'll extend right now. Our Bjork evidence indicates that okay, that's fine. They say that we increase the system only by confronting the structures of debate community challenges. Our Bjork evidence is actually specific to the debate community, so their Derrida evidence, which is abstract the concept of abstract politics and radical philosophy. The affirmative disrupts the what?
Giroux says we have to confront it individually in our local.
Yeah, Giroux says that individual intellectuals need to confront militarization within their local sphere instead of avoiding it. Bjork evidence also indicates that voting affirmative disrupts dominant structure policy. Debate is a dynamic activity that concrete protocols has been proven time and time again. This disproves the thesis of their Derrida arguments because debate has changed and is not static, which means that it's open to change. First Intelligence Project has become the base of the Baltimore UDLB. Jim Schultz introduced the affirmative in the office of the NET, and it's manifest in the debate community. Its overall format has shifted from theoretical arguments to hypothetical and plan-centric debate. The only obstacle fronting another shift is your voting negative and rank placed in the face of the status quo argumentation. This disproves the thesis of all their Derrida evidence. You should vote affirmative because we are the only ones providing contextual examples of how debate has the capacity to change and will not actually be co-opted like all their arguments says. Next, they say the next thing is to try to articulate a bunch of link arguments about their judge being the referee. However, there is no distinction between how the posits the judge is someone who isn't the referee, how the neg doesn't do this by saying that your ballot is crucial to the enforcement of their political strategy. They're engaging in the same kind of logic that the affirmative does without positing a solution that actually changes the structure of debate and makes it less violent. So the next argument is that we're only doing things to gain win and losses. This isn't even true. They were the only ones with a consistent strategy in this round. They kicked their Burroughs argument because it wasn't strategic. They couldn't win them the ballot, which proves that their argument is disingenuous. Their next argument is that we just tell them the problems where we're the only ones who propose a cogent political solution. That's our Bjork evidence and our Giroux evidence from the 186 state that you don't do anything to contest these two pieces of evidence throughout the entirety of the round, which means that you vote affirmative to endorse our political strategy and reject militarization. Finally, the last argument is a double-minded, the last argument is that we can't do the permits as a double-minded, they make a bunch of theoretical objections. However, theoretical objections is the reason that their strategy of debate is disingenuous and why they're disinterested in the preservation of the activity as a whole. Additionally, data does not say that because debate has limits, debate is not valuable. We offered a strategy within these limits. It can still be used as a change of the debate community and extend the permutation.
We don't sever our
We don't sever our affirmative.
debate.